This is controversial to say, but I just don't like it. Welcome to Fightmaster Yoga, the place to deepen your practice and change your world. I'm Leslie Fightmaster. Today's topic, hot yoga. This is going back a few years, say late 90s. All of my friends were practicing hot yoga. They loved it. They looked amazing. Their skin was literally glowing, and I had never done any yoga, and I had wanted to. So I went and took a class with my friends. I thought I was going to absolutely love it. I had expectations that it was going to be what I'd been searching for. It was, I think, about 108 degrees. It was very, very hot. And it was the kind of studio where the floor was carpeted. So the moment I walked in, I could only smell feet. That's kind of icky. And then the class started. And not only was it so hot, but then I had to move in that heat. So I was standing in front of the mirror with the breathing. I don't know if you've ever been, but that's how it started. And just taking in those deep breaths, I thought I was going to pass out. Like, I was looking at myself in the mirror. Everything started to go black. I started to get dizzy and I had to sit down. And apparently, that's not really what you're supposed to do in hot yoga. And the teacher was a little bit strict. So I wanted to leave. And I was promptly told that there's no leaving. Once you go in, they want you to stay. So I stayed. And I did. I had to be on the floor a lot of the time because every time I would stand up, I would start to sway and get like super dizzy. And I was told that that was happening to me because I have so many toxins in my body. Now, I'm not saying I don't have toxins in my body, but I'm not sure I buy that 100%. Maybe it's true, but I just felt like that can't be good for me. It just didn't feel good for me. So that's my first experience with hot yoga. Now, I tried again because I'm not a quitter. And like I said, all my friends were doing it, everybody's doing it. So I went, I don't know how many more times, but at least 5. Every time I went, I was again just so disappointed. I could barely make it through. And it was, for me personally, a really, really bad experience. My friend Amber took a hot yoga class, and she doesn't have any medical conditions, nothing out of the ordinary. And during the class, she had a seizure in the middle of the class. They had to call the paramedics. They had to carry her out on a stretcher. And the craziest thing is that the class didn't even stop. The teacher just kept going. They're just like, she's on the stretcher. They're stepping over people to get her out of the room. And the class just kept going. So for me, when I practice yoga, yoga is about connecting with my body and really listening to it. And in a hot yoga class, I can't really feel if I'm overstretching something. I can go too far and not even know it because of the heat. Now, if you pull a muscle, you overstretch a muscle, it's okay. I mean, it's going to hurt and it's not going to be a pleasant experience, but it'll heal because muscles have blood flow. But if you overstretch a ligament, a tendon, they don't have blood flow, and it's like a rubber band that does not go back. So if you've ever sprained your ankle, that's why it's so easy for it to sprain again, because that connective tissue that holds the ankle in place gets overstretched and it doesn't go back. So keeping that in mind, if you are a hot yoga fan, really be careful with how deeply you go. I have one more little story. There's a teacher here in Orange County, and he's been teaching forever. And in the 80s, he used to practice in LA. And he used to practice with Bikram, who started the whole hot yoga thing. And here's how he describes how hot yoga began. Bikram had this little space that people would come to practice, and it was carpeted, and the room was super cold. Now, according to this teacher friend of mine, Bikram would like walk around the room eating Cheetos and yelling at people. And because the room was so cold, one day, one of the students brought in a space heater. And then the next thing you know, another student brought in a space heater, and it continued and continued. And then the room got super hot because there were all these little space heaters that people brought in just because they were so cold in there. And next thing you know, everyone's sweating and they're getting into their poses so deeply. And Bikram's like, wow, this is something. So that's the story that I heard about how hot yoga started. If you hear Bikram tell the story, it's much different. But I don't know. It's hearsay at this point. I don't know what the truth is, but that's the story I heard. So I'm pretty sure this video is going to be controversial because I have a daily email that I send out. By the way, I send out emails every day. And if you're not on the list, go to fightmasteryoga.com and join. One of the emails that I sent out was why I don't like hot yoga. And I got so many responses back. People were heated. I know, sorry. People were very upset with the fact that I didn't like it. And a lot of people love it. And if it works for you, good, that's wonderful. So one of the emails that I got from, he's a friend of mine, he's also a yoga teacher, super smart guy. He loves hot yoga. And he loves it because of the heat. It's really, really good for sweating. It's good for cardiovascular, also to drain the lymphatic system. He loves that there's a mirror in the room so you can really see your alignment, making sure it's correct. So there's some good things about it. I like practicing Ujjayi pranayama and doing more of a vigorous flow to create heat, which is also will make me sweat and it's good for my lymphatic system. And one of the cool things about not having a mirror is being able to really get within yourself and feel where your body is. It's called proprioception, and it's a superpower that we have, where you can know exactly where your body is in space without actually having to see it. Oops, I hit the microphone. Without actually having to see it. But it can be very, very helpful to see yourself in front of a mirror when you're practicing as you're learning your proprioception. The other thing that I noticed in hot yoga classes, many of the teachers were really, really against modifying poses or taking a break, and they would even go so far as to call somebody out in front of the whole class if they were doing something incorrectly or if they were taking a break. And that was a little bit scary to me. That was like, gosh, I feel like I have to do everything perfectly because I don't want to get yelled at and I don't want to get called out in front of the whole room. So I guess, again, it wasn't for me. Some people don't mind that sort of thing, but for me, it's not a motivator. I feel like I'm hard enough on myself. Maybe you feel that way too, maybe you don't. But I don't like to be yelled at in my yoga classes. So if you prefer non-heated yoga, I would encourage you to go visit myyogapal.com, where I have 90-day programs and meditations and a community to support you. Everybody is enjoying it. I'm getting so many wonderful comments and great feedback. There's even gratitude corner where you can write down 3 things a day that you're grateful for. And when you do that, it makes just a huge difference in how you feel day to day. I think you're really going to like My Yoga Pal, so click right here. I'm going to tell you all about it. and we'll continue the conversation right here.